is one of those videos for me, guys. I'm not gonna lie, because this video was crazy. Okay, this video was just fully demented, deranged, crazy. I mean, people are applauding iDubbbz for stepping up, for being a mature guy, for being an amazing man who's willing to set aside his ego and admit that he partook in horrible things. I mean, this entire video is literally just iDubbbz saying that his entire line of work, like his past history, all of his work, the stuff that he used to be so proud of, he's not proud of that anymore. And he's, you know, getting rid of it. He doesn't stand by it. He basically is coming on the air and telling everybody that his entire life's work was built on filth and bullshit, basically, which is crazy to say that shit, right? So we're gonna give it a nice watch, and I will be fair. There's also a lot of stuff happening on Twitter about this. Assange is running his mouth. They're after Critical. They're canceling him. Look at this gay-ass tweet from Memeless, though, before we get into this. This video is 9/11 for men in their mid-20s that are still in their 2016 edgelord era. Really, dude? Again, my biggest issue with this video is really just that iDubbbz, his whole, like, mentality, his approach to this entire situation is just so fucked up. If you watch this video and you had no idea what he was talking about, you would think that he's like apologized. You would think that like a shooter like named him or something. Like they named Content Cop in their shooting, and now he has this horrible crippling guilt and shame over it. But he made a few mean videos and he said the N-word, right? While making a greater point that the woman, you know, Tana, was saying the N-word in a harmful way. Like if you watch the Tana Mogo Content Cop, he wasn't even really coming at it from a necessarily like base perspective where he was like, yeah, it's just cool to say the N-word. He was coming at it from a hypocrisy perspective because Tana Mogo was going after him for saying the N-word, for being mean. And iDubbbz loads up her history and is like, wow, like you say this word all the time in actual cruel ways. Not for a skit, not for a bit or whatever. So it's like, I can see his perspective like in the sense of like, well, I just don't like saying that word anymore. But to devalidate all of his work and upload a 17-minute video basically cutting his nuts off. Little bit extreme, a little bit excessive, I'll just say. So we're gonna sit down, we're gonna watch this video, and I'm gonna be fair. I need to just let this video like simmer, you know what I mean? I need to let it sit. Bro, iDubbbz died in 2020. This isn't even him. It literally isn't though. Like I started like rewatching like iDubbbz's other videos. Like I would watch a video from 2017, 2018, then 2020, then 2021. Like I rewatched his Sam Hyde documentary, especially now because when iDubbbz dropped his Sam Hyde documentary, I wasn't even really in the loop of what was going on there. But rewatching it now with all of the fucking context, it's like, bro, he's like soulless in it. He's like this little like fucking autistic nerd just standing there like awkwardly trying to like figure out who Sam Hyde is and figure out how he can fucking like clip him and own him and stuff like that, which is ironic because as soon as his documentary on Sam Hyde came out, Sam Hyde blew up and became like a mainstream comedian again, recaptured all of iDubbbz's old audience, which iDubbbz built by copying Sam Hyde originally. And now iDubbbz is in a position where he hasn't necessarily lost an audience, he's changed it, and now his audience is the age 3 audience, a bunch of psychopathic freaks that will demand that he issues the correct take on everything. You want to see something that's disgusting, bro? Look at his fucking Twitter likes. Twitter is showing iDubbbz changing his mindset, pursuing new content the way a crack addict would treat someone taking away their drugs. These weirdos are getting the shakes because the person who they would use to validate their behavior grew up. Like, imagine being this delusional about this entire situation. It's a very simple situation with what's happened to iDubbbz, right? Nobody's mad that he grew up or that he changed or something like that. They're mad that what he changed into is a fucking loser. Okay, like he changed into a fucking loser. Like he's just a whiny little fucking grovelly little bitch, you know, and sitting there acting like he contributed to like a society full of harm because he was edgy on camera. He wasn't even the edgiest one. Like people have this deluded mindset. Like the cope that iDubbbz defenders have is that Ian single-handedly led like an evil dark movement across like middle schools everywhere in America, and that this is like as a serious problem that really exists and must be addressed. It's just totally delusional. It's like how is it confusing why people don't like iDubbbz anymore? Well, he doesn't say the N-word anymore. Is that really everyone's complaint? I feel like that's not really a serious analysis of the situation. Most people just want the guy to be funny and tell some jokes again and not look like this. You know, you watch this video, this is supposed to be a secure, mature man. Doesn't look very fucking secure to me. I mean, he admits in the video he's not secure. He admits in the video he's not secure, he's not grounded, he calls himself stupid. I mean, the whole video is just him beating himself up over fucking nothing. People are so fucking delusional, dude. Like, actually, though. Like, people genuinely believe that, like, there's a bunch of perpetual 12-year-olds, like, angry and seething at their monitors at iDubbbz. Nobody's angry. Nobody's seething. Nobody's angry. the only person that's angry in this whole equation is Anissa. Everyone else is just looking at this guy. You know, he's a comedian. He tells jokes. He's funny, blah, blah, blah. What are his last 2 videos? Complaining and beating himself up. Obviously, no shit. People are going to look at that and be like, what is this? This is terrible, you know? If iDubbbz's previous 2 videos were full of jokes or were kind of the same thing that he was doing before, but maybe in a softer tone, yeah, sure, there'd be people complaining about it. But for the most part, if he's just supplying people what they subscribe for, which is jokes, which is just a guy that doesn't give a fuck, you know, that's what they want to see here. They don't want to see a fucking loser. They want to see a guy entertain them. But this is not entertainment. This is like morally grandstanding to its fucking finest, and it's awful.
For a while, I felt like if I changed my content over time, that people would see that as a reflection of who I am and what I value. But I'm starting to realize that that is a very weak and passive way to, you know, run my channel and live my life. So I think it's, you know, if I'm gonna have the balls to go to Tana's fan meetup and say slurs at her and then make a video about how it's okay to say slurs, I think I should have the balls to make an apology video and take accountability for the mistakes I've made. So that's what this video is.
Oh no.
I've realized that I need to be crystal clear about what I believe, so there's no room for ambiguity. I am responsible for creating a lot of hurtful and damaging content on this channel, and I've also created a culture of apathy and, I don't know, a lot of like cruelty as well.
Cruelty, dude. Cruelty. Now, you've heard me use the term like torture when I describe like people like getting covered and stuff like that. That's a joke, okay? Like, what are we saying here? Like, content cops are cruel. First of all, most of the people that he content copped deserved it. With one exception, Rice Gum. The Rice Gum content cop was weak as fuck, you know? I mean, sure, maybe there's some decent points here or there. Most of the video was just bitching about how, like, he's obsessed with flexing. He makes horrible, like, offensive rape jokes, which nobody even cared about, including the girl that Rice Gum made the rape joke against. Like, the video was just very weak or something. You know, every time we tried to moralize, it just didn't really hit. But all the other content cops, you know, Keemstar, I mean, the guy was running his mouth, being an asshole to everybody. It warranted a video, right? Leafy, same situation. If Leafy's gonna bully the entire internet, then obviously, you know, it's warranted for Leafy to get the same treatment that he puts on other people, you know? Jinx, the guy's content sucked ass. He was just stealing everything and providing nothing of value. He was prime mockery there. The Fine Bros, they tried to copyright the word, like, reaction and tried to, like, own that entire genre on YouTube in some weird, like, scheme, some weird, like, power scheme or something. iDubbbz rightfully called them out, along with the rest of the internet. Tanamogo was running her mouth, talking about how, you know, oh, it's really fucked up that you say these words, while she uses the same words, the N-word and everything, in a mean context, and then try to feign ignorance and be like, oh, I was never taught that word in school. What are you even saying? That doesn't make any sense. So it's like, all of these people totally deserved mockery. They totally deserved what they got, right? But Ian's only example of a time that he went too far is when he made a video justifying people for saying the N-word when he said it's all okay or none of it's okay. But is that not like a true standard to set, you know? Like, if you're gonna have a position on whether or not somebody's allowed to say the fucking N-word or not, but you use it yourself, then yes, you must abide by your own rules. Either all of it's okay or none of it's okay. iDubbbz didn't make a video saying it's all okay and we should glorify this. He made a video saying it's all okay or none of it's okay. It was a hypocrisy argument at best. But iDubbbz is gonna rewrite his own history and paint himself even worse than what actually happened, which none of it's really worse. I mean, we're talking about fucking words in the internet, right? I know I've been getting in trouble. I know I uploaded my Illuminati video and I said the horrible word retard, which is not even like the top 10 worst words that I've said on here. But retard got me in so much fucking trouble with the Illuminati crowd, and they were really mad at me. They were saying stuff like, how could you say this word? And I was saying stuff like, I don't fucking care, like, get over it. And they were like, get over it. Would you say that about the N-word too? Or something? They try to fucking like own me on that shit. I'm like, it's kind of, yeah, you know, like, hey, if you're talking about fucking some retard writing a comment on YouTube and you getting triggered by that, you know, obviously, sure, there's some content, a guy pulls up on you, right, and just start saying the fucking N-word and shit like that to you in real life, trying to provoke you or some shit. You know, maybe in this glorified scenario that barely happened, sure. But if we're talking about the fucking internet, you know, I mean, this is just really some low-level stuff here. But this sort of rhetoric that I'm perpetuating is exactly what iDubbbz feels incredible guilt over. And he's made a whole video addressing people like me that have carried his like tainted, fucked up legacy online. And he's making a video to tell people like me and people like the entire chat, hey, chat, if you like saying certain words, fuck you. So he's about to own us. So brace yourselves for it, chat.
You know, some of the videos I've made have been very, not edgy. I don't think they you know, some of these videos were edgy. I think they were just outright cruel. So I don't want people to, you know, get it confused about, you know, where I stand. I have made some cruel, hurtful content, and I need to acknowledge that, and I'm really sorry that it's taken me this long to acknowledge it. The content I'm talking about specifically are content cop videos and videos where I was just generally criticizing people for very lackluster reasons.
Lackluster reasons? Like what? What?
And, you know, obviously didn't have any accountability online whatsoever on my end. I was morally grandstanding and acting as if I am any better than any of these people that I was making content cop videos on, and I'm not. I'm a human. I'm a real human who makes mistakes, and, you know, I make a difference.
What are we in 3rd fucking grade? I'm a real human who makes mistakes. Really? What? Fucking blows my mind, dude. And also, what is this like reductive ass mindset? This reductive thinking where it's like, oh, I made videos of people criticizing them, but if you think about it, we're all humans at the end of the day, and everyone makes mistakes. Okay, yeah, sure. But I would argue that most of the time when you're criticizing people for their mistakes, they deserved it. Like copywriting a word or being hypocritical and virtue signaling like Tana Mogo, or all the fucking crimes, the actual fucked up crimes that Keemstar committed and stuff like that, right? But you're gonna sit there and look at your old work and act like all of it is now null and void because criticizing people is now too far. Criticizing people is cruel and unworthy punishment. I mean, it's a little bit difficult for me to even react to this because this is just like a totally like fucked up mindset. Like I barely know how to like even respond to this because it's just so like he's taking this like way too fucking far, dude. He says we're taking it too far. He's taking it too far, man.
But it doesn't matter. I don't think anyone deserves that level of cruelty or hate. It's also indoctrinated a lot of people into thinking that this is an okay way to behave, and it's not. It's super irresponsible and
irresponsible.
Shitty. I am very insecure about my ability to create interesting content or like entertain. It's gotten better over the years, but it's something that I have struggled with constantly, and it's one of the reasons why I, you know, kept making this hurtful content. You know, I ended up pivoting it into other things because I felt bad about it, like innately, but it's still something that I struggle with, and I don't want you to interpret that as an excuse, but I hope that that is relatable to other creators.
So he's gonna rewrite his history as he was like a sad, miserable fuck sitting in his bedroom, just angry at other people and jealous of them. Does anyone actually believe that this is real? Like, chat, do you guys believe that this is actual reality? Bro, I saw stream clips of iDubbbz in 2016. He was goofing, having a good time with his buddies, anything for views, all these people. He looked better in his fucking leafy cop than he did here. Look at him. He's fucking sad, low energy, monotone, he's got no jokes in the tank, got no material. His only material is destroying his old material. But you're gonna tell me that back then he was a sad, merciful fuck who was just angry and jealous of other people. You were jealous of Jinx and the Fine Bros? I don't believe that. That sounds like bullshit. Especially at a time where, if we're gonna take the internet hyper autistically seriously for a second, you were at the top of the world back then. You know, everybody bowed to you, right? So it's like, I don't believe anything he's saying so far. You know, I can sit here and try to be fair, and to be fair, I will be fair to some of his points, right? But this point right here just does not make any sense to me.
I was being very bigoted in a lot of my videos.
Bigoted?
And I justified it because, you know, I didn't think it was too serious. And
right.
I thought that people were going to see that I had good intentions, you know, but that's so silly, you know. Casual racism is still racism. Casual bigotry is still bigotry.
Fuck off, dude. Come on, man. What is this? Could you provide an example, please? Like, show us your casual bigotry. What are you even saying right now, dude? Like, Anissa, does she have a fucking gun to your head? Like, did you make this video for pussy? Like, what are you saying right now, bruh?
I've just always had this dumb philosophy that I'm not responsible for, you know, my audience and
yes, correct.
they
Okay.
behave beyond what content I put out, and that's stupid. And it's led to a lot of hate and a lot of bad outcomes. And I just want to make it clear that I am absolutely responsible for my audience.
Okay, part of the reason why this video is so hard to react to is because everything that he's saying is such a vague-ass fucking point, right? Like, I don't know what he's saying specifically. What I'm gathering watching this so far is that what he's talking about is the swarms of hate that everybody would get when you'd make a content cop. You know, they would lose subs, people would fire up streams about their sub counter, said their comments would be full of hate, iDubbbz owns you, and stuff like that. Does any of that matter, though? People had this really, like, twisted idea of what content cop was, where they thought content cop was like a channel killer. They were like, oh, if you get content cop, your career's over, that's it. But everybody knew this. I mean, Implement's video on Leafy in 2018 explained this. You know, all the people that got content copped survived, and it didn't even matter to them really at all, with the exception of possibly Leafy. But as we found out later, Leafy's decline had to do with the entire genre dying, partially due to people losing interest over time, but also partially due to the suppression that YouTube is doing behind the scenes. Remember, YouTube is hosting secret meetings to target Leafy, Keemstar, Grade A, Under A, and Onision. But, you know, YouTube was really clapping down on this shit because every day on the front page of YouTube in 2016, it was Leafy making, little gay black boy fucking cuts his wrists after somebody says you're gay on YouTube. And YouTube was like, whoa, okay, we got way too much fucking cancer on our front page. It's time to censor and suppress all of this shit, right? So that's what they were doing, and obviously Leafy's channel was like target number one for them. The point is that the people that iDubbbz content copped didn't even get fucked up by it. Keemstar lost like 300 subs, continued trekking on. Tana Mongo, I can't say her fucking name, dude. Tana Whore. Did she even lose subs from that? Did anybody who was subscribed to Tana Whore care? A genuine question. I don't remember that even happening. But if she did lose subs, it was probably for a fucking day. Okay, who else? Jinx. Again, was Jinx's retard audience that was there to watch him play the video? Did they care that he was stealing content? Did they even understand what was even happening in iDubbbz's video? I don't think so. Probably not. And Leafy, well, that was another thing. But Leafy, the only channel that you can say had a severe negative effect from iDubbbz's channel was Leafy, and that was really just because they were in the same community, right? So obviously Leafy's videos were getting dislike bobbed, and everybody was, you know, spamming his comments and stuff like that, right? But if you're from iDubbbz's perspective, you know, Leafy's the #1 bully on the internet, right? So it's like, okay, bully the bully. That was the whole point of his fucking video. But now you're telling me that iDubbbz has regret for that video? No, he doesn't, because iDubbbz still thinks Keemstar's a piece of shit. He still thinks Leafy's a piece of shit. So everything that he's saying here is just a fucking lie. That's why it's so hard to react to this, because when I like break down his points and think about them, then I think like, well, wait a minute. If he feels guilty for the stuff that he said to other people, but he's only willing to name Tana, does that mean that the Fine Bros and all these people you feel bad about too? I don't think so. Maybe he does feel bad about the Fine Bros and Jinx, but I don't think he feels bad about fucking Keemstar and Leafy. He probably still hates them more now than he did in 2016. So what the fuck is he talking about?
I guess if you want to, you know, look out for people who are red flags, it's definitely people who had my mentality that say, I'm not responsible.
No, fucker. This is the real answer, okay? The real reason why iDubbbz can't make the content he makes anymore is because Anissa gets fucking shit on. She gets shit on by the people that iDubbbz used to make videos for, and that's really the reason there. Which, to be honest, here's the deal, okay? If iDubbbz came out on his video and was just like, look, guys, I'm not really in a position where I can make this type of content anymore. I'm moving on and making some other shit. He doesn't even have to address it. What iDubbbz should just do is he should just make the content that he wants to make. If he wants to make documentaries about squirrels or Chex Mix tier lists or whatever, there is an audience for that stuff, surprisingly. He should just make that stuff. When he has to make a video telling you guys with no jokes, what I wanted from iDubbbz is I wanted a content cop on the commentary community. I wanted iDubbbz to rip it, maybe not us directly, because who the fuck cares about us, right? But I want a video where iDubbbz really says his mind, names, calls people out. He named Sam Hyde, you know, so he fully named Sam Hyde there, but he needs to be more specific, right? Because this vague shit just doesn't make any sense to me.
I know that this apology isn't enough. I've clearly done a lot of damage. You know, these videos have been up for a long time and have accumulated millions of views. I shouldn't be able to just make an apology video and walk away from it. This is something that I should live the rest of my life with, and I expect to. I've profited off of this bigoted content for years. And I've made a successful career out of it. And that's not right. I think that this is only a step in the right direction, and I know that a lot more needs to be done to even approach a life that I would think would be like acceptable.
A life that I would think is acceptable. Making comedy videos where you're a little bit edgy is now an unacceptable life to live. So serious.
Ads on this video, and any revenue generated from this video, I'm going to match and donate to an organization that, you know, would have been particularly affected by the type of rhetoric that I've been spewing on this channel.
Rhetoric.
And again, this isn't the end of what I'm doing. This is just the start.
Just the start, dude. He sounds like KSI. He sounds like KSI when he made, like, he read somebody's comment where it said, the peace slur. And he makes this video groveling on his hands and knees in a mosque, wearing the fucking towel. Okay, wait. But he's, like, sitting there and he's talking about how he's just like, this is only the beginning of my story. I know this is not enough. I know! It'll never be enough, but this is the start of a long and prosperous year of self-growth. Fuck off, dude. Why is it so serious?
I don't feel like a lot of
this is just crazy to me. This is just what you're supposed to do.
Content represents me as a person, at least not anymore. There was a time where it probably perfectly represented me because I was a nasty, apathetic, insecure person. Now that I don't feel like it represents me and I want to distance myself from it, and keep it from, you know, indoctrinating more people, I'd like to unlist the videos so that people, you know, can access them still for whatever, you know, purposes they might want to do that.
Now, this might sound surprising to you guys, given I've been giving iDubbbz a lot of shit, but I will say this is like the one move that I do respect from this video, because you're going to unlist all of your most popular, most beloved pieces of content. I mean, if this is really who you are, you're changing your entire life and disavowing your previous life as if you were internet Hitler or something like that, then good. Unlist them. I mean, at least he's not profiting off of them, right? At least he's not hypocritical there. So he is completely fucking his channel over for his new morals, which is crazy to me, but I mean, that's what you should do. If this is how you really think, that's what you should do, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. I totally disagree with this mindset. This is just, I mean, again, why not just unlist the Tana one? Because the only video that he's claimed that was really egregious was Tana. But he's going to make it about all the content cops because they spread hate and misery. Well, do they? Where? What? To who? Why? What are you talking about?
And for anyone who liked those videos, I want this video to be an example and a lesson for you.
A lesson?
You know, you can like content, but you can also think that it's irresponsible and it's hurting other people. So just tap into that part of your brain.
Hurting what? Their feelings?
I'm sorry to everyone that I made content cop videos on. I still don't like the majority of you, and that's fine.
Okay.
I can recognize that you did not deserve the hate and harassment that I sent your way. I particularly want to apologize to Tana. Tana,
okay.
I'm sorry. I should have never made that video. I harassed Tana in person and then harassed her online. And that's deplorable behavior. It's so stupid. I'm also sorry to all the black viewers.
Dude, come the fuck on, man. Dude, when I heard this part for the first time, I was just like, bruh, come the fuck on, man.
Deplorable behavior. It's so stupid. I'm also sorry to all the black viewers.
Stop.
And minority groups who had to put up with that video and put up with, you know, the phrases. I said either it's all okay or none of it's okay. And that's just so dangerous and stupid.
Dangerous and stupid, man.
Over the years.
You want to further elaborate there? Because I mean, your logic is just consistency, right? Why is that stupid? Bring us that nuance that we're missing, iDubbbz. But no, you're not gonna explain that. But okay.
Anyone who thinks that I should be shouting the N-word from the rooftops, I don't want to be your cup of tea.
Owned. I don't want to be your cup of tea. Okay, this is just a it's hilarious, but it's like such a dishonest framing of like what people really want, right? iDubbbz is gonna paint the narrative that all of his old fans, everyone that covered this, everyone that watched this, you know, they're all what? They just want me to scream the N-word? They just want me to spam the N-word over and over again? It's like, dude, that's not what people want, okay? That's not an accurate representation of what people want. They want you to be fucking chill. They want you to be funny, tell jokes, do all this. not this. You can change. Plenty of people do. Plenty of people change, they evolve, they make different fucking content. You have to, right? If you literally do the same formula constantly, eventually people will get tired. Unless it's like a podcast or something like that, right? But if you're just doing daily, like 10-minute commentaries for a year, 10 years straight, eventually by the end of that, maybe you'll have like a resurgence or something, but there will be a down period where people will be just be like less interested in that style of content. You have to come up with new ideas, right? But iDubbbz is sitting there acting like, they just want me to say the N-word over and over again. No, that's not the argument anybody's making. In fact, that's not even your old content. When was iDubbbz's old content just spamming the N-word over? I mean, he would say it, right? But it wasn't just him fucking harassing black people. He's acting like his old shit was like Ice Poseidon or something, or something close to that, where he'd have like the TTS speaker attached to his waist, and he'd show up to like a fucking all black school or something and just spam like, Johnny Rebel songs or something. You know what I mean? Like, his content was never that crazy. Bad Unboxing was pretty inward heavy. I mean, yeah, but it's all like retarded shit. It was just saying it randomly or something like that. He's acting like his shit like directly affected people. The only time he made a comment that directly affected people was his justification for saying the N-word in the Tanamogo video. But that was a point about hypocrisy.
Now I want to talk about events and situations that have happened over the past 5 years of my life that have led me to the place I'm at now. One year I was at a convention and a bunch of fans were, wanting pictures, and this particular fan came up to me and said, I know you probably don't like transgender people, but can I, get a picture? That smacked me in the face. I was like, oh, holy shit. Why would you think that? But I mean, it was fairly obvious. I was being cruel, hateful, bigoted, and being very uncaring about people's feelings. That is a very fair assessment to make. I was giving this person bad vibes.
Is that really a fair assessment to make? That you hate a group of people based on comedy videos you made like years ago? That's not fair. Like, why are you giving mileage to these like insane assertions of you? Who the fuck thought iDubbbz was a hateful person? Especially based on 10-minute videos he made once a month. And if people did think that, why would you give credence to their fucking retarded assessments of you? But no, he's gonna listen, assuming this story is real, he's gonna listen to like random people. One time I met a fan who thought that I was a piece of shit, and then I was like, fuck, maybe I'm a piece of shit, man. Yeah, this whole video is just a massive overreaction. Could have just said, no, that's just for videos. I'd like to take a photo. Yeah, exactly.
I went on a boxing podcast. I was basically like trying to walk back my Tana content cop. I was still very like insecure and uncomfortable with the fact that I made that video, and but I was still coping. You'll see me struggle in this clip to, say that it was wrong.
So I just wanted to let you talk on that, right? Because obviously using the N-word is definitely frowned upon by a lot of people, especially by a non-African American, but I was just curious.
That was a very weird video because I wanted to like criticize her for her like sort of flagrant use of it. I've been pretty flagrant about it too, not in the same way.
Right.
I thought there was a message to be shared there, and I don't think it was particularly. It was okay in criticizing her, but I think I probably wasn't the person to deliver the message, if that makes sense. There was a message that I was trying to put out there, and like, I'm not really the person to put out that message. I don't regret making the video. I think, there's bits and pieces to take from it that I think are valuable, but...
Why is this bad? He's still coping, like he's insulting himself.
I probably wouldn't make it these days. I'm very grateful to those guys and how they broached the subject because, it didn't put me on the defensive. It just made me realize, like, I'm stupid. I'm stupid, and I really need to, like, acknowledge these things. Like what am I doing? I'm still...
Yes, what are you doing, bro? Dude, this guy hears one person, like, fucking challenge him on anything, and he just crumbles, and he falls, and he just thinks that they're 100% correct. It's like, that's not a positive way to think. That's not, like, a mature way to think. That's not, like, a, because that's how he markets it as, right? It's like, oh, I've changed, I've grown, I've developed, I've advanced my mentality. No, you've regressed. Anybody challenging you, like a random fan that you met on the street and like some retard who doesn't even know what he's talking about, some guy that clearly doesn't watch YouTube, brings this video up, and that's enough for you to just scratch your head and be like, fuck, dude, maybe all my work is shit.
Trying to make excuses for myself and like, why I made that video. It's like, it was a dumb idea. I harassed someone. I was saying slurs and I was trying to justify it all.
What was his harassment even against Tana? He went to an event that she was publicly doing, pretended to be a fan, took a picture with her, and then said, "Say N-word." How was she harassed? Did she even look bad in that situation? No. I mean, if she said it, she would have looked bad, I guess, but she didn't. So how was she harassed? And then he's gonna make the argument that, oh, well, his fans like fucking shit on her or whatever. Dude, that's just the internet, bro. And again, none of the people that he made content cops on cared. They didn't give a fuck. They moved on. They made content again. They started growing instantly. They never even really lost. That's my biggest problem with this video so far. Not just that it's fucking vague. It is vague and it's very repetitive, which is why I'm having to repeat myself, right? But this video is just a total like rewriting of history that doesn't even exist. Like I somehow remember iDubbbz's history better than he does, which is crazy.
Just the amount of hate and harassment my wife Anissa has received over the years.
Now this is probably the real reason. So now cut the bullshit. 12 minutes of fucking cancer. This is the real reason, all right?
She's had to deal with it from the beginning of our relationship, and I have done a horrible job at acknowledging her and her feelings for it. A lot of the time I just thought that was her problem, or that was you know, other people's problem. Like, it's not my problem that you're getting hate and harassment. And it's like, no, it absolutely is. You know, that's the culture that I cultivated, and I, you know, didn't do anything to change that.
All right, so this is the real reason, right? So he has a wife now, wife mad. I mean, that's really it. And again, if that was his real reason for like distancing from content, he's like, look, I'm surrounded by people. I have a fucking family now. They can't you know what I mean? Like, sure. Okay, that is actually a more legitimate reason than this other bullshit of like, I feel bad now because I met a fan and they thought that I was an evil person, and now I think that I actually am an evil person. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any fucking sense. This answer, we're getting closer to something that makes more sense than the previous answer, but it still doesn't make that much sense. Anissa is the fucking reason? What do they criticize Anissa for? Being a whore with OnlyFans or something like that? She makes like $50K a month on OnlyFans. Who the fuck cares?
There is a clip from this interview that's been floating around the internet, and it's me calling my fans antisocial and basement dwellers, and I was like, I didn't like, you know, interacting with my fans. I just want to be clear, like, that was my realization. I think a lot of people are like, of course that happened, is because you were creating that culture and you were attracting those people. And it's like, yes, I know. I know now. I didn't know before. It was my realization upon, you know, meeting more and more fans that I was like, oh shit, you guys are struggling. It was easy.
So we're back to the fan point again. This video just fucking makes my brain melt. There's so much from back here. Okay, we're back in the Xander Hall arc. Xander Hall, the alt-right pipeline. I mean, that's what iDubbbz is saying. It's like the alt-right pipeline. Like, he made all of these videos and he contributed to this culture and he met his fans in real life. It just doesn't make any sense. You met a few fucking retards that watched you and you were like, these people are weird. Dude, I can look at the fucking chat and see people that are weird. This video is fucking impossible, man. This video is really impossible to respond to because he just has such an out-of-touch mindset. Nobody's mad that he's changing. Nobody's mad that he thinks differently now. They just think that the thoughts that he thinks now suck.
Well, I get angry. I get sad. Of course I got empathy. Seems easy, right? Empathy? I definitely have that. There were moments where like a dog would die in a film and I'd cry. So it's like, of course I have empathy.
What?
But I never did. I think only in these past couple of years have I gained the ability empathy, and I'm very ashamed to admit that. It sounds really pathetic to say at the age of 32 I've acquired empathy, but I have, and I've realized it because I just like can't help myself but like feel for other people's pain and suffering now. I'm still not perfect. I think that is, you know, my empathy meter's only maybe like a quarter of the way filled up, potentially. But it's at least there. And I just want you guys to know that you can unlock ability empathy if you, you know, experience more life. It might take you getting hurt a little bit, but it's worth it. It is so worth it.
So that's his video. It's just go outside, incel. Get out of your mom's basement, incel, and you'll experience life. If this is what life is, I don't want it. Okay, I don't fucking want it. No, this is fucking retarded. I mean, what he's basically saying is like being a fucking asshole and like fucking with people online was fun. It was cool and it was awesome. Criticizing people online, goofing at them, joking them, making fun of them. All that was great until it happened to me. And now that I've experienced life, now it's not so fun anymore. I don't fucking respect that mindset at all.
Thank you for watching, everyone. I do want to create more regular content, and you know, I don't want to just have the next 5 videos be apologies. So I have uploaded a squirrel video on my second channel. If you want to watch that. I guess as one final thing, I just want to thank everyone who's given me the space and the compassion to grow as a person, because it's taken longer than it probably should have. I appreciate everyone, and I think most importantly, I appreciate my wife, Anissa. She has been insanely compassionate and helpful and patient in you know, allowing me to grow over the years.
Same wife that was just trashing him on Discord, talking about how he is like a pathetic cuck, airing out every detail of their relationship back in like 2017. I think it's strange to apologize for all the content cops. If he argues his videos were harmful, doesn't that validate their existence on some level on calling out other irresponsible channels? Well, yeah, see, that's exactly the point, right? He only really names Tana as who he feels sorry for, and then he admits that the rest of the people he doesn't really like that much, right? But he just feels empathy for them. Jinx, Fine Bros, Keemstar, Leafy, whoever the fuck else. He feels empathy for what he did to these people, but he still doesn't like them. Like, am I crazy, or does that just not make any sense at all?
She was the one who said that I should try this boxing thing.
And you hated it. You said on the H3 you don't even like the sport of boxing. You're desperate to get back on the air and make videos again.
Never done that on my own because I was insecure and I was pathetic.
You're what, dude? Come on, stop the cope.
I did this and I am so glad I did. It's been amazing.
Fuck this. I'm loading up the H3 podcast. Come on, dude. I can't let him lie like this easily. He's literally said he doesn't like boxing a month ago.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't love boxing. I find it to be very challenging and very difficult to do. And so it's not, you know, when I go into the gym every day, it's like not therapeutic, or it hasn't been very therapeutic for me, or fun. There's moments, you know, where it's like, oh, I'm doing well today, awesome, but it's been very hard. So just like,
by the way, this is like the only guy I've ever heard describe getting into boxing and describe it as less making them, you know what I mean, like hating it. I don't find the gym very therapeutic. Like, even the most soy fucking loser can go to the gym and admit that obviously it was beneficial for them mentally and physically. Most people, all people would admit this. Even the most soy fucking loser would go to the gym for like a week and come out thinking, yeah, that was probably a good use of my time. That probably helped me out at least a little bit, you know? I've never heard somebody talk about this. You're telling me that 1 month ago, April 19, 2023, he went on the H3 podcast and admit he doesn't even like boxing, he doesn't like going to the gym, he doesn't like any of that shit, right? But now, in his new video, this was the greatest experience of his life.
I did this and I am so glad I did. It's been amazing. So, Anissa, I love you. You're amazing. Right now, you're streaming.
Why do you say it like that? Right now, you're streaming. Stop.
You're amazing. Right now, you're streaming. But bon voyage.
Stop, dude. What are you doing? What the I gotta watch that again, man. That was too bad.
Anissa, I love you. You're amazing. Right now you're streaming.
Stop. What the fuck is this?
But bon voyage. Toodles.
Yikes. Yo, dude, what is this? What the fuck is this, man? She's streaming on OnlyFans. Oh my god, bro. Real man, by the way. And again, you know, boxing, the greatest sport of his life, dude. The greatest sport ever.
I don't love boxing. I find it to be very challenging and very difficult to do. And so it's not, you know, when I go into the gym every day, it's like not therapeutic, or
It's
it hasn't
not.
been very therapeutic for me.
I mean, here's the deal. This whole video was literally just like, it was fun that I could do it, and now it's not fucking fun anymore, right? That's literally what his point was, and I just don't fucking respect that at all. You know, I don't see this as personal growth or development. I mean, he looks like shit. He looks and he sounds like total shit. You know, and that's not just me being like fucking uncharitable or so. I mean, I'm sure anybody that's like fan of iDubbbz or iDubbbz himself, if they were to watch this, they would think that I'm being the most uncharitable prick of all time. But I don't respect his mindset. It just doesn't make any sense. He's so out of touch from reality. Like the way that he acts, like how his old videos, like harm and stuff like that, but he doesn't really name the videos. The only video he named that was harmful was the Tanamogo video, but then he deletes them all. So I'm confused. It just doesn't make any fucking sense.